for further down the line. You know what I mean? So this is where you got like to say, like they're games that we should win. Make sure you get the points on the board. No points easy, as you know. But when you've got the advantage, take them. And I think that's where we're at this moment in time. I think that momentum's a big thing. If we can keep going at this point like that, you know, then everybody will be going away on international duty, coming back and buzzing for the Spurs game, which is gives us an extra day as well, which is a Sunday. That's much better for us as well. So I know it sounds silly, but an extra day after international break's a big thing.
It's a massive thing. Definitely not silly.
Massive thing. And you can really go for it from there. So listen, at this moment in time, it's all good at Arsenal at the moment. You can't say that it's not. You can, if you want to nitpick, you can. I'd rather not at this moment in time. I'd rather just enjoy what we're doing and how we're going.
I think you're bang on the money with everything you said there, Lee. I just wish that, I wish we was in like March, April, and the same talking points are said, and we're talking about 3 and 5 point cushions. We'd be laughing. And you know what? You can't control Arsenal fans because we're not going to win every game. But, when we do stumble, it's going to be all doom and gloom. When we win, it's going to be amazing. Let's just hope in May, Mikel Arteta, the boys, get over the line. And then obviously in Islington, we've got a parade. If we get back to the Atletico game, who was your man of the match?
Martinelli for me. I thought he was outstanding. I have to say, I thought he was outstanding. I know Gyökeres got it, but he wasn't in the top 3 for me. I think that for me, Zubimendi, I thought was outstanding on the day. Declan Rice, and I'm going to have to say Miles Lewis-Skelly was sensational as well. Like, what a brilliant performance to come in from him. Just reminded everybody that and England that he's still the best left back option for England. Maybe not for Arsenal. That's up to Mikel, but for England he is. So he gives everybody a gentle reminder there. Well done. But he also reminded everybody at that ground yesterday, and also around the world on TV, that he's 19 years of age and he's an unbelievable player.
It doesn't look like that on the pitch.
Yeah, and it was unbelievable what he done. But Calafiori's done exceptionally well as well. And the level of competition you got in those two spaces is what you need all round. At this moment in time, we've not got that in the front sections. I thought Saka was fantastic in the first half yesterday, but couldn't take him off because there's no one really to take him off for.
And that's where you want Madueke in that.
So we need Madueke back and as quickly as possible. On the left-hand side, Trossard scored on Saturday. I didn't think it was great, but he did score and won us the game. Martinelli's now up that level to there. Trossard probably will come in Saturday, but you've got to up it to there. Otherwise, you'll be sitting on the bench.
Yeah, on the bench.
Who's that? Gyökeres is not got no competition at this moment in time. So, but that was, a good confidence boost for him to score goals. You look at the midfield, I thought Norgard come on and done really well for 15 minutes as a cameo. He's going to get his chance on Wednesday, and he's going to have to put a performance like that up there. As you say, Zubimendi and Rice have been fantastic. Eze's got to step up now. It's two.
I was going to ask you, but you take it away, Lee.
Yeah, two relatively quiet games. I don't think you can say that he was played very, very well at Fulham. I don't think he was bad against Madrid, but he was okay. But okay's not good enough now. Like, you've got to be right up here now. When you're
playing in your favourite position that we've been crying for you to play in as well.
Yeah. And listen, he's got to get used to the players and the style and everything like that. And there's some good things that he done on Tuesday, but he needs, he's built a foundation. He's got to now make sure that he builds on that, So, because it's not fair, you see certain players playing really, really well, being left out and all that. You can talk about Mosquera, who's had some outstanding games for Arsenal, who's not in the team. You're talking Miles Lewis-Skelly, what a performance that was, not going to be in the team. Martinelli, unbelievable man in the match performance and a goal.
3 and 3 in the Champions.
Yeah, might not get in the team. And then you look at Eze doing okay, still staying in the team. So,
and you've got Wanyeri on the bench now.
Yeah, Wanyeri's got a chance of coming into there. I would still feel that Eze's got the chance here to do. But what I'm saying now is to Eze, if I'm the manager now, right, you've got Crystal Palace on Sunday. You got to produce, because Wanyeri's coming in on
us, man.
Yeah, Wanyeri's coming on Wednesday in the Brighton, and if he performs, then he's going to give me a headache. So make sure that you put up a performance that's going to say, I can't leave you out the next game. Now, I think that Calafiori's done that, where he's done very, very well. Even though Miles Lewis-Skelly was fantastic, I don't think...
Calafiori's also been fantastic as well.
Yeah, I think Calafiori's done enough to say, do you know what, even though Miles has been fantastic, I'm sticking with you. I don't think you can say that with Eze at the minute or Trossard. So that is where the levels have got to go up. So I'm saying if Trossard gets the nod, I'm saying to him that, you've got to produce a performance as good as what he done on Tuesday night. If you don't, and he produces another performance like that on Wednesday night against Brighton, come Burnley, you better take your tracksuit with you. And that is what you want. That's what you need for all of these players.
I think you're back on the money, Lee. Generally, obviously, like you said, everything's kind of, I wouldn't say great, but everything's ticking along the way it needs to. The players are doing well. I'd run out of superlatives for these guys. But when I break our team down, it's still really like our defenders that we're holding high regards, and we're saying they've been superb. You could throw in a Zubimendi, you could throw in a Rice, and 2 games in a row now from Saka. Like, do we still need more from our collective attackers? And is it still a concern? Because I still don't know, as a bunch of boys, who is going to get the goals, if they're going to get the goals when the pressure's on. I'm still kind of betting all my money on Bukayo.
Yeah, because he's our best player, unfortunately, as our best player, he's feeling his way back into fitness. He's having to do it on the pitch. I do believe if Madueke wasn't injured, I don't think he would have come back as quickly as he has done. I think he would have been eased back in. But because of that injury, he's got in a little bit earlier than what probably they would have anticipated. Shown signs that he's not 100% fit by tiring a few of the games, but still producing, So, and you don't listen. I thought he was very, very good first half, Saka. In the second half, wasn't his best, but it wasn't needed. If I be honest, the Martinellis and Jokovic took over from him. And that's bloody good to see, isn't
it? Take a day off a bit to a degree.
That's what you want. You want, hold on. Look, we've just smashed the team 4-0, and Saka hasn't contributed the way he has done in every other time that he's played. So that's a good sign. You get Saka back to his very, very best one. So there's so many positives to look at. Get Madueke back in as well, so that when there is those 20-25 minutes gone and you're 3 or 4-0 up, you can take a Saka off and rest him. I don't really want to see him playing on Wednesday night, but who plays on that right-hand side is a very, very interesting debate, whether Wanyeri has not played out there but can. Obviously, Max Downman can go out there and play. And, of course, Martinelli can play there as well, So, but I think we need Madueke back as quickly as possible, as we need Havertz back quickly as possible as well.
Need everybody, man.
Everybody.
The whole squad.
Odegaard as well, you know what I mean?
I even forgot. We got so many players now, I forget who's actually involved. Like you said, Max Dowman, he actually weren't on the bench. He was playing for the under-19s.
Yeah.
We've got the depth we dreamed of.
Yeah, and look, listen, I think he's done it exceptionally well to be where he is. And I think that, come next Wednesday, he'll definitely get some sort of minutes and maybe even start. If you look at it, say that it's Gyökeres, Martinelli, and Saka that start. You could go with Downman or Wanyeri, Marino, and Trossard. That's not a bad front three for a League Cup tie. You know what I mean? Keeping the other ones on the bench if things don't go quite well as well. That's where we're at this moment in time. Norgard probably playing midfield alongside. It depends who they play up front. That's the thing. You like to give Marino a go, but definitely Norgard to get a shout. May have to play a Zubimendi or a Rice for that game. We'll have to wait and see. That's where the injuries can stack up you against when you've got a League Cup tie and you can't rest certain players. But listen, he's rested players like Declan Rice for Premier League games this season. So,
yeah,
no one's safe from being rested.
As it should be, like you said earlier. Ideally, you want 2 players for every position. Like, this is what we dreamed of, and I think fans need to accept it. Like, your favorites or the players you want, they might not actually get games. They might not start. If they are to start, they might not, like an Eze. Eze might have to play on the left-hand side if the others are doing their jobs. And that's the kind of stuff we needed. Where are you at with Gyökeres? Because I think he had a good performance, and I still think he had a good game regardless of him scoring. But for obvious reasons, him being a striker, you want him to get goals. And I feel there's just too much media conversation around Gyökeres. Where was you at with his performance?
Do you know what? Listen, his best performance for me this season was at Newcastle away. Didn't score. Thought he was outstanding in that game. Should have had a penalty. But this one here, I didn't think he was at his very, very best, but scored 2 goals. But I thought his all-round play was better. I think there's still more to improve on him. Like, he's more of a battling ram at the moment instead of a finesse sort of a player. But I don't mind that. You know what I mean? We've got technically, everybody can play, everybody can go and do their job, So I think that the physicality he gives us is a good thing. I also think, when he's playing, he's stretching defences, he's occupying central defenders. So, but ultimately, it does get down. What did we buy him for?
Goals.
And that's what he's got to deliver. That's what he's got to deliver. Delivered 2 yesterday. Everybody's happy about it. Listen, I would have been buzzing coming out of that game if we won 4-0 like we did. But if Gyökeres hadn't scored, but with him scoring those couple of goals, that was, fantastic. We needed that. He needed to get a couple of goals.
He needed that, yeah.
And I'm glad that he did, and I'm glad that he scored those goals. And that gives me confidence going into the next game for him, because, the only thing that's been lacking is those goals. And what that should do now is give him the confidence that the next one he gets, he's not going to snatch, because he's a little bit more relaxed. And I think he's done well. His
goals at the Emirates as well, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully Sunday he does his thing.
Yeah, listen, I think, what's he got now? 5 in 12, is it?
Something like that, yeah. What he got?
So if we can get another couple on Saturday, on Sunday, well, that would be 7 in 13.
It starts to look a bit better,
and it starts to look a little bit better. You know what I mean? So, these next 3 games, I want him to score goals in all 3.
I think you're bang on. I mean, in a good way. I don't really want to speak about Gabriel and our defense, because we know how good they are. But Robert's arts, let's talk about Gabriel. He's been a beast for us. Do you think he's the best centre half in world football at the moment?
All round, maybe, if you want to include goals and set pieces into it as well. It's been sensational. I do think there's a mistake in Gabriel every now and again, like there was on a little bit of sloppiness still in his game.
It's been in his game since the start of the season.
But, it's in a lot of players' games. So if I'm a centre forward, I don't really want to play against him because of the physical side. And
he relishes it as well.
Yeah, listen, they all do. I think that's the great thing about this team now. I think that they're all, there's a lot of players, and and there's exceptions, of course, Ashley Cole or whatever, that get converted into defenders, and they don't mind defending, but they really want that pass or that cross or whatever, To me, Gabriel just loves to defend. When we're 1-0 up, just wants to defend and make sure he keeps a clean sheet. Saliba, as good as he is, wants the same things. The way they hunted down the forward after Gabriel's mistake on Tuesday, and Gabriel got physical with him, and then Saliba just took the ball away. That's what you want. They're hungry to defend. It means a lot to them to keep clean sheets. I think it does for Miles Lewis-Skelly and Calafiori and Timber as well, and of course the goalkeeper as well. So I do think that Gabriel is up there. Listen, I think the best thing you can say about Gabriel and Saliba, right? You can sell one of them
to new deals, man.
Yeah, they've got new deals. But what would you say, right? You can sell them, and you can bring in anybody you want. Who would you bring in? I don't think there's anybody that I would want to bring up. But I'd want to keep them too. I'm not saying, you know, other players have got better players or whatever, but these two suit us, and I'm not swapping any of them out. You know, like if you was, I don't know, if a midfield player coming in, I don't know, like, you know, you'd swap it, like for instance, if as much as we love Martinelli, but if Pappy says he wants to come, like, you know, we take him, like, you know.
Yep.
But central defensive wise, I don't think there's many there.
Perfect. Yeah. For us, anyways, and they complement each other so well in their individual right. They're great. I do think Saliba has the highest ceiling, but I maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel, and I know we beat Real Madrid last year without Gabriel, but I feel you take Gabriel out, I think that loss is more felt, kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, you know, I'd be a bit more nervous with Saliba and Mascara, or Saliba and someone else centre half, than Gabriel and Mascara if one of them was out. But it's amazing, and you know, credit to Berta, because a lot of our players, you know, me and you have just spoken about Saliba, Gabriel, Miles Lewis-Skelly. We mentioned Wanyeri in previous years in the Emirates time. Like, these guys' contracts would be running down, and we'd be having streams saying, "Oh, are they staying? Are they going? They're signing new deals." So fundamentally, they believe in stuff. If they have to be sold, they're going to make us money, and like, we have enough to seize the present and do what we all want, which is silverware. So then, like, I want to ask you this as well, yeah. Like, purely at dead balls, like, well, you know what dead ball is. Like, Declan Rice, is he the best in the world at that at the moment? Because it seems like cash money whenever he takes one.
I think he's the best in the world at other things as well. But yeah, I think he is. I think that you know, the best way to sum up Declan Rice and his crossing and in that is the moment was when he's taking the corner. And the crowd are all singing set piece again, ole, ole.
And some of us are even celebrating before it's gone in.
And then he puts in the cross and we score from it. And he just, I don't know if you've seen it, he just takes the applaud of it, like, fantastically. And that just shows you on a plate. Listen, there's a lot of work to be done on top of that. Like, the thing is, right, when all of that is set up for Declan Rice to put it in an area of the field, which is like a post stamp or whatever, he delivers that. He puts it in that post stamp. And then the other players have to react from that, i.e. Gabriel. And, you know, he is involved with the goal on against Fulham, which is a fantastic jump, by the way, that leads to the goal. And as pinpoint accuracy of that cross it was, he's still got to finish it, you know what I mean, and he makes it look easy and what he does it there. But Declan Rice, you know, Declan Rice's delivery is unreal, you know what I mean. Listen, we can all go and practice corners and go, right, let's put it here and all that, and I think if we was to go out there and I was there, I could probably hit 5 out of 10, but without any pressure.
But it's different at the stadium and in these kind of
exactly that. Under the pressure of it all, you've got to put it in there. And let's face it, when he does a bad corner or a bad cross coming, we're all disappointed because of the expectation levels there. And let me tell you this now, that Saka's delivery is good, but it's not at the level of Declan Rice.
It's too hit and miss for me, Saka's.
Yeah, well, I think that, again, you know what I mean, it's still good. I bet his ratio is very, very good, but I think we'd probably say it's hit and miss because we judge it on what Declan Rice does. That's how I see it, you know, but they're both pretty good at it. But, you know, Declan is just that little bit better.
I'm happy Martinelli doesn't take them anymore. I remember when he used to take them. With the greatest of respect, Martinelli, I love you, and clearly if you was given that, you're clearly one of the better ones in the team, but simply put, other people are better. I want to ask you this as well, like, are you worrying about City and where you at with Liverpool? Because I think City, I don't want to say they're going under the radar. They're a Premier League club, Pep Guardiola, all that stuff. But it feels like the focus ain't really on them. And they're quietly, whether it's just Haaland or whatever, they're just quietly doing their job. Now, obviously, it seems like Arne Slot's feeling the pressure. I know they won yesterday, but they're losing. There's question marks over them tactically. Like, how do you look at them lot in comparison to us for this title?
I'll look at Man City and be honest. They played Everton last week, didn't they? Right? Would you expect them to beat Everton?
100%. If they want to win a league. Well, City historically, maybe not last season necessarily.
Yeah, they did. I can't remember who they played before the international break,
Sure, I want to say Brentford. You know,
Brentford, was it Brentford? They won. I think it was they beat Burnley at home 5-1.
Yeah,
it was Burnley at home. So Brentford, Burnley, and Everton. It's a little bit like what we're saying with our 3 games, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I see the point you're making. I see what the story you're building now.
They're expected to win those games, so people don't go too much on that. Like now they've got Aston Villa on the back of that 3 games. People are thinking, oh, they're in form and all that, but they're 3 games that they should win. So Villa away is a test for them. I'm going to be really honest. I expect Manchester City to win that game.
Same.
So do I worry about them? No, because we're a better team than them. Like, you know, I ain't worried. I don't. All I look at the moment, and I hope the Arsenal players are doing exactly the same, is concentrate on what we do.
Exactly.
We win our next 3 games. We go into the international break 3 points clear. Don't matter what anybody else does, minimum. Now, if Aston Villa were to beat them, fantastic. We could go 6 points.
Come on, Emery.
You know what I mean? Come on, Villa. And they're in good form at the minute. So that's a test for Manchester City. And not an easy one. We go there, I think, in the beginning of December, Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. I would expect us to beat Villa, but that's going to be a tough game. I expect Manchester City to do it, but if they don't, they don't. So listen, we'll sit there and see what happens. You know, I don't know when they've got Villa. Is it Saturday or let's have a look.
I think it's got to be the Saturday.
So it'll be the Saturday. Brentford are playing Liverpool away from home. Villa are playing same time as us.
Well, like you said, we just got to do our job, and even more reason to focus. Obviously, fans will be looking on their phones as well, but
just do our job. Whatever happens after that happens. You know what I mean? Brentford not going to be easy, but I suspect Liverpool to win that one. So you know, this is it. We've got to go out there and get there. But listen, you know, this moment in time, City are playing well. Haaland's on fire, but there are games that I expect them to win. So. You know, that is why we can't slip up in those games that we are expected to win. City are doing what they're doing, you know. They would have looked at City, lost a couple, didn't they? They had a couple of difficult games away to Arsenal, lost to Spurs.
Brentford wasn't easy for them. They won, but like Brentford should be disappointed. They get more.
Listen, and this is how funny football is. Like, you know, I was bloody annoyed that Spurs beat Man City. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But now, that 3 points, if City would have beaten the Spurs like they should have done, they'd be on level points with us, and above us. So, listen, I think, you know, long way to go. But, listen, Man City will say to themselves at this moment in time, you know, we're in a good position because they've played us away from home. So they've got us to come at home. So they'll look at that as a good thing. But I think that they've got this game, as I say, Villa away, and then in a couple of weeks' time they're away to Liverpool. So their next 2 away games are big games for them. If they come out unbeaten in all of those games there, then I think you've got to start worrying about Manchester City. Like, you know, as I say, like, I think that I don't know, they've got on the let's just try and have a look. Like, they've got Bournemouth then.
Nasty game.
Not a gimme. So they've got their next 3 games.
Make it difficult.
If they get 9 points out and then next 3 games, that's Aston Villa away, Bournemouth at home, Liverpool away, then you've got to worry about Manchester City.
I think you're right. It's a weird one because I fear all the teams equally, and it's not that I think City all doom and gloom and they're scary and whatnot. It's not City in their prime, and the same with Liverpool. I think, you know, I can't go back in time, but had we all done what we did this summer, had we have done it last season, I think we win the Premier League. The 2 major things that scare me about both teams is both teams have obviously won the title and we haven't. I look at Haaland and he's obviously it's 11 players out there, but he's dragging them. And I do think there was an element of Salah doing that last season for Liverpool. We haven't quite got that. One thing I think we have an advantage is at the moment, we're actually a better tactical team. We've, you know, you look at Liverpool, we're coached better tactically. We've had a lot more bedding in process. I know we brought in 8 players, but the majority of our players have been here. We're finding new little minor tweaks, but we're playing the same way. Liverpool, they're having teething problems. You're going to when you bring in those amount of players and lose the players that they've had. But it's like you say, we just got to do our job. The table's going to fluctuate. You know, someone's going to be above us, and we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot, which is why, yeah, when you said earlier about momentum, the more you just win these games and ride on the momentum, when you do stumble, you can just get up a bit easier, innit? You kind of break your step. So we're gonna have to see, man. My last question for you before I let you get out of it, Unks, yeah. Somebody asked me to ask you about Raya. Do you feel Raya has concentration issues? Yeah, because you saw maybe he does need to start facing some shots because he was moving.
Well, listen, you know, all jokes aside, has he got a little bit bored and whatever? I don't know, like, you know what I mean? He hasn't had a shot to save and all that, like. I think the best goalkeepers are like that. David Seaman didn't have a lot to do, and then when he had something to do, he done it. You know, and it is for him. Concentration levels have got to be better than what it is for a goalkeeper that's down the bottom half of the table, because he's being busy all the time. Where you've got to be asked to do is make 1 or 2 saves a game. And then for the rest of the time, you've got to be you know, at your best concentration wise and all that. Like, listen, he got lucky on.
Very fortunate.
Very, very fortunate. But at this moment in time, I don't think there's any problems with Ray. I think
he's had more good games than shaky moments. Yeah. I mean, no man's perfect. He's obviously made mistakes.
Yeah, listen, everybody makes mistakes. Exactly. Everybody makes mistakes. He got away with it. Don't do it again.
Exactly. And you know what? You know, you look at Fulham, you look at Atletico, you look at a couple of games this season, just minor mistakes from our players have gone unpunished. And that's what I believe when people talk about earning your own luck and things like that. I think we've done that. And then obviously, as long as we can laugh about it, it's great. We just take the good and try and make it better. The areas of improvement we need to do better. Like, one thing for me is obviously like our attack. It needs to go higher up. And I look at Newcastle and I look at Atletico Madrid. I know you obviously can't put 3-4 past teams in the first half and you got to wait for them to tire out and stuff. But I feel the next step for us beyond the obvious is when we play like how we have, can we smell blood and get it done at halftime, before halftime, actually? Because I don't like when teams go in with something to fight for, but there's always a learning curve. Before I let you get out of here, Lee, man, give us a prediction for Crystal Palace then. I'm going to go 2-1, a nervy 2-1 Arsenal.
Oh, no, so I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0.
Oh, you're right. I want my clean sheets.
I think it will be, you know, like digging in and defending well and all that. Like, but I've got complete and utter faith in our defence, and I think that they'll be up for it again, like, and another clean sheet I see, and I think that we just have enough in other areas to beat them, like, you know. But it won't be easy. This game won't be easy.
Anything but easy. And I mean, I hope that they actually have a tough game today in the Conference League and they don't really have that much rest. But as you said at the beginning of this stream, whether it's Brighton, whether it's Sunderland, whether it's Crystal Palace, whether it's, you know, after the international break with those teams, we just need to keep on winning, just game by game, just do our thing. And then maybe in May, our dreams become, you know, reality, essentially. Lee, where can people find you? I can't imagine they don't know, but I always like to let everyone know.
You know, Lee Judges TV, obviously on AFTV.